Hey everyone, it's Allie and welcome to my channel, and today I am super excited to start a little weekend in my life vlog. I guess we're starting a little bit into the weekend because it's Saturday morning. Yesterday evening, like many of our evenings, we have just been doing house stuff, and as you can see behind me, there's still so much to do, and we do have a lot to do today because tomorrow my parents are coming, I think for a week, maybe like 5 to 7 days, I don't even know. And we do have a guest bedroom all ready for them, but there's still so much stuff everywhere because we've been doing so much building, and by we, my husband has doing the building. I've been handing him things. He has been an absolute champ and he's put up like all the ceiling fans, a lot of the lights, things like that. But we still have a lot of like little things everywhere. So this morning we are about to go on an adventure, but when we get back this afternoon is going to be just doing as much as we possibly can to get the house ready for my parents. We've tried to do it like slowly in the right way. I don't want to just like shove things places. I want to take my time and put things where they will go pretty much permanently, so I don't have to like go back and redo it. But this will be a pretty eventful weekend. We haven't been doing too much here just because we've been moving and trying to save money and things like that. But this morning we are gonna go to the Somerville Farmers Market, which I've heard very good things about. This will be our first time there. And then I was just looking at the Somerville events page, and today is actually Independent Bookstore Day, so that's very fun. There's an adorable little bookstore right in the Somerville downtown, so we'll go there, check it out. And yeah, just do a little stroll around, get out in nature, because we've been in the house a lot the last couple of days. But before we get going, I feel like it's fitting since it is like National Independent Bookstore Day. I did like in the last week or so set up a bookshop.org account. And I learned about this from another booktuber, Nikel. I think her YouTube name is Nikel's Nook. And I think this is really awesome because it is a way to get brand new books online without shopping on Amazon. So how it works is you go on bookshop.org, also not sponsored. I feel like this sounds super sponsored, but you go on bookshop.org and you can use my link in the description, and then I can get a little bit of commission, which is amazing. But when you shop on bookshop.org, you can choose to support not only a random independent bookstore, but you can choose one that is right in your community. So you're shopping online, but you still are giving money back to local bookstores, which I think is awesome because I think we all know that many of them are in danger of going out of business just because we do, myself included, buy a lot of books online. So you can choose whichever independent bookstore you want to support, or you could just say, like, I don't really care, and your money gets split up between the bookstores. So yeah, if you are interested in that, definitely check out the link in the description. Again, not sponsored. I think just a really, really cool idea. But with all that being said, my camera's flashing. Let's go ahead and go to the farmer's market. Okay, we are back from our little mid-morning adventure. As you can see, I have not started to tackle the house for the day yet, but we had such a nice time. We didn't end up buying anything at the farmer's market, kind of went more for the vibes and to see the prices of the produce. And unfortunately, I think it just makes more sense to buy our produce at like Aldi and stores like that. But yeah, it was fun to walk around. There were some like different artisans, so I think it would be fun to take people like when they're visiting us. It was a bit bigger than the farmers markets that were by us in Ohio. And I think this one is year round. Part of the year it is outside like today, and then other parts of the year it is actually inside. So love that. I love how much community stuff there is in Somerville. It's not really like a little town anymore, but it has that little town vibe, and I just love going to events like that and just like walking around the town. I think is so fun. But yeah, we did pop into the bookstore. It's called Main Street Reads, and since it was Independent Bookstore Day, there were 2 authors there. One I didn't get to chat with, but she wrote a memoir, so I'd be very interested to maybe look into that the next time I go to the bookstore. And then there was another author who I did get to chat with a little bit on the way out, and her name is Marissa Hale. She is a cutie, and I wish that I would have like chatted with her before I went into the bookstore, because I had already like checked out and everything, and I told myself I could only get 1 book, and yeah, I'd pick something else out before I saw her and heard her story. She also writes historical fiction, which is one of my favorite genres, if not my favorite genre. So I'm absolutely going to pick up her book at some point. It is called American Wild, A Story of Resilience and Redemption After the American Revolution. She does live locally, but she moved at some point from Kentucky, so resonate with her there since I'm from Ohio, not too far from Kentucky at all. And I also resonated with her because this is her debut novel, and she was working on it for 15 years, and she was getting kind of teary-eyed when she was talking about how her husband really pushed her to put her novel out there, try to get it published. And I am trying to be a novelist as well. And if you want to hear more about that, I do want to start talking more about my writing journey on here. I just get kind of nervous about it. It's definitely like a very vulnerable point, I think, to share your writing with people and know that obviously people are not going to like it. But I've really done a lot of reflection over the past year about what I really want my career goals to be. And I love making YouTube, and I think I always will to some extent. But what I most want to do is write. So I would like to do more like how much I'm writing in a week, things like that, which will not only hold me accountable to write more, but might be inspiring to you guys too, if you also like to write. But anyway, she was super nice, and I was asking her a little bit about like how she got published and stuff, and she didn't have too much time to chat, but she did say that she got published from a local publisher, which I think would be really cool to work with a group that is in Charleston area. And she said that she would go get a coffee with me sometime, so I'm definitely going to reach out to her, and I would love to just pick her brain about how to get published. Because yeah, if you don't know, I did actually write a book 5 years ago now, which is kind of crazy. It is a middle grade kind of magical realism, Narnia-esque story called Crossing Worlds that I did just end up self-publishing on Amazon. And this is like getting super chatty, but a big reason why I started YouTube was because when I originally tried to get that book published in the traditional way, I got feedback that the story was good, but I needed more of a social media following, and so that is really what led me in a lot of ways to creating a YouTube channel. So I'm excited to reach out to her. She was extremely sweet. So if you do like historical fiction, or you just want to support a new author, definitely, again, check out American Wild by Marissa Hale. So sadly, I didn't buy that one again because I had already checked out, and I told myself I could only buy 1 book. I have a hard time, I will be honest, like buying books from little bookstores a lot of times just because I don't want to pay the full price. You guys know I'm a huge book outlet buyer. A lot of times books end up there pretty quickly because it's like overflow from Costco, Target, places like that. But it was a cute little day out, and I did not feel right about like going in there without buying a book. So I did get one that has been on my eye, and I haven't seen this at any of the discount places yet, any of the discount sites. So this is The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. And I know a lot of people really love this author. I don't think I've read anything by him before. Yeah, he wrote Dead Wake, In the Garden of Beasts, Thunderstruck, Isaac Storm, Lethal Passage, The Naked Consumer. I have not read any of those. But I am trying to read more nonfiction this year, and this story caught my eye because it's centered around a fair. So it says, bringing Chicago circa 1893 to vivid life, Erik Larson's spellbinding bestseller intertwines the true tale of 2 men, the brilliant architect behind the legendary 1893 World's Fair, striving to secure America's place in the world, and the cunning serial killer who used the fair to lure his victims to their death. I do love me some true crime, and I do like this era as well, 1893. I think that's going to be super interesting to read about. So I think I'm actually going to dive into this pretty soon. I'll probably read this during the month of May. And because it is Indie Bookstore Day, I did get this cute little bookmark, and I did get a little gift as well. They had a couple options, but they had this coloring book, which I figured I would just kind of put in a drawer for when my little nieces come. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's cute and definitely generous of them to give a little gift. So we love that. I absolutely want to take advantage of a lot of these little days in the future. I just think things like this, that just makes you enjoy life a little bit more. Sorry, my husband's moving the garage around because he's doing work while I'm chatting. But it's been a great morning. It is 1 o'clock and we actually are going to go to church this evening at 5 because I am Catholic. So we can either go Saturday evening or Sunday. And we do have our very exciting anniversary brunch tomorrow. We're gonna go into Charleston and have a delicious brunch with a mimosa. I've been craving good brunch for so long. So I think that's just gonna be a great way to spend our anniversary tomorrow. And then of course, final preparations for my parents to come. They probably won't get here until pretty late tomorrow night. But it's time to get to work. I think I'm gonna do most of it off camera just because filming does add time and I just want to crank this out. Still have a lot to do. But later today or tomorrow, I will definitely share some footage of what the house is looking like because I haven't shared anything yet and I'm really liking it. The house is definitely becoming a home. Okay guys, it is many hours later. Sorry for the lighting, it is dark outside. It is 8:30, but kind of cozy, right? With my bookshelves in the back. I've never set up the camera here, so maybe in the future we can do some cozy chats here on the bed with the bookshelves in the background. But yeah, lots of stuff got done today. The house has felt never ending. It is a large house, so a lot to do, lots to put away, lots to decorate, but we've really tried to just get as much stuff done now as we can before our family and friends start visiting for the summer, because yeah, we just want to enjoy our time with them. But it's about that time to just kind of settle in for the night. And I am going to be starting a new book. I'm going to be starting Lisa Jewell's Invisible Girl. Just feeling like a thriller. I've only read, I think, one book by Lisa Jewell before, and that book is None of This Is True. Couldn't remember what that was called, but I absolutely love that book. So I'm very eager to get into a really good thriller. And honestly, you guys, I'm going to talk more about this in my upcoming book review video, so I'm not going to blab on. But I finished The Women by Kristen Hanna, I think 2 nights ago. That's the last thing I read. And I will be honest, this was not a favorite from Kristen Hanna. I really do like this author. She wrote a lot of chick lit, like when she first started out, and that's not my favorite, but her historical fiction novels, some of those are like some of my favorite books. The Four Winds, The Great Alone, even The Winter Garden. I really, really love those books. But this one just didn't really hit for me. I had some issues with the story. I didn't love the main character. I felt like there was just maybe too much shoved into the book, because it follows a 20-year-old nurse. She's that age in part of the book. She goes off to be a nurse in Vietnam during the war. And so part of the book is her there, and that was the part that I enjoyed the most, I think. And then the second half of the book, I think it's even more than half of the book, is her after she returns home. And yeah, like I said, I didn't love the main character. I feel like maybe there was not enough development of other characters, and I had a hard time getting attached to them. But I did like the concept of the story. I think my opinion of about a 3.75 out of 5 is not the average opinion, because I think this has about a 4.6 on Goodreads right now. So a lot of people are loving this, but yeah, just for me, it did not crack into the top 3 favorite Kristen Hanna books. But I will stop talking in this bad light, and I'm just gonna settle in and read, and I will catch up with you guys tomorrow when we head to Charleston. First time actually going to Charleston proper since we've moved here. Hey guys, happy Sunday. Oh look, the house is still a mess, but we are getting there, I promise. We are making a lot of progress. I'm excited to share later today, but it is 11:05. We should have left 5 minutes ago for our anniversary brunch in Charleston, but I just had to get on here and give you a little update of Lisa Jewell's Invisible Girl. And I was a little bit nervous to go into this because the Goodreads rating average is like 3.6, which I feel like is not that great, but I am really, really loving this book. I'm feeling about a 4.5 right now, and I am 182 pages in, and I think it's about 350 total. So I do think this evening I probably will be able to just grind out the rest. I forget if I mentioned before, but my parents are now coming tomorrow morning. They decided to split the 10-hour drive into 2 days because they couldn't get started until like mid-morning today. But yeah, I'm really liking it. It's definitely not like the most fast-paced thriller, but it's very, very well written, and there's a lot of really great character development, a lot of interesting internal dialogue. It is multiple perspectives, and I feel like the author does a really good job of like having a distinct voice for each character. But I am very interested in what's going on. This is for sure one that I could have easily just sat down and like binged in one day. But I am, of course, excited to have a lovely anniversary day with my husband. We have been married now for 6 years, so that's crazy. Together a total of 9. So next year will be a big milestone for our relationship. But we're gonna go to Stars Restaurant, I think is what it's called, which is like right in downtown Charleston. And as I said, we haven't even been to downtown Charleston since we've moved here. We've hopped around the beaches, but not actually been downtown. So we'll probably walk around for a little bit, depending on how we're feeling after lunch. But it's about a 45-minute drive, so we for sure want to make it worth it. So let's go ahead and get some brunch. Alright, so as you saw from the cute little graphic, it is actually the next day. It is Monday. Maybe you'll even be seeing this video the same day I'm filming this clip. But yeah, yesterday was really, really chaotic. Ryan and I had a wonderful anniversary down in Charleston. The restaurant, I would recommend, like the food was fine, but we should have known better. I should have known better because I'm the planner in the relationship. But I was like, ooh, breakfast buffet, mimosa included at this Stars restaurant. Seems like a good deal for our anniversary. But honestly, Ryan and I are both the type that we are like grazers. We eat more like 4 meals a day, 4 smaller meals, than like a buffet type of meal at one time. So I feel like it would have been better for us just to go to another restaurant, get probably a little bit better food, get a drink, and it probably would have been cheaper. But then we did have a really nice time walking from the restaurant to the South Carolina Aquarium. It was like a 20-minute walk, and it was a really nice temperature. It was getting a little bit toasty towards the end, but very nice walk, and we still have so much to explore in Charleston. Of course, it's such a gorgeous city. I think it's been named like the #1 city in the world overall, at least a few times in the past. It's a top city for sure. So if you've never been, I would recommend coming down to Charleston. It seems especially like a good spot for a bachelorette weekend, a little girls weekend, things like that. But the aquarium was very cute. We had a nice time. It was right on the water. But then when we got back home, yeah, we just were pedal to the metal. We had so much to do for the house, and I will show you guys some clips now of what the house looks like. Of course, it's not completely done yet. We've been here about 6 weeks, so I feel pretty good about our progress. And we've got a lot of the worst stuff out of the way. Of course, we've had the house painted already, and we are getting a fence later this week. So those are two massive things that are going to be done quite soon. And pretty much everything that needs to be built has been built. So now it's more just kind of like going back and organizing, putting some decor in different places, doing a little bit of hanging of pictures. And we do have a couple statement walls that we are going to be doing. We are doing another brick wall like we had in my last house, and we also are going to be wallpapering our dining room area. But hopefully by the end of May, actually, we'll have all that done. It's very likely. And I love that because the last house, we had to drag everything out. We didn't even finish everything we wanted to in the 5.5 years that we lived there. And of course, a lot of that was for financial reasons, but for this house, we did make some money on the last one, and we really wanted to put that money towards just finishing this house as early as possible so we can actually enjoy it. And I think too, since this is the second house I've owned, I've learned a lot about my personal style and how I like to decorate. And of course, that did take me some time to learn as a first-time homeowner. But even though we had a very busy day yesterday and an early morning this morning trying to get things done and cleaned, I did end up staying up till like 12:30 last night to finish Lisa Jewell's Invisible Girl because I was really hooked. I wasn't like, oh, I have to finish this book for the video. I just figured whatever I got done, I would share with you. But I was absolutely loving this book. And as I said, like the average review is about a 3.6 or 7 on Goodreads. But I think it's just because this is not a typical thriller. Like, to me, it was very engaging. I felt like there was a lot of stuff going on, but there was a lot of like internal dialogue, which I thought was excellent. The character development was really excellent. It felt very much to me like a Kate Atkinson novel, maybe a little bit lighter. Kate Atkinson can be very into the internal dialogue and character development, which I love. She's one of my favorites. But if you've read her, I would say this has that style where there is a mystery going on, there is a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, just not written quite the same way as a lot of thrillers, but for me, that means this is going to be very memorable. So loving Lisa Jewell, I've absolutely loved both books I've read by her. I think she is going to quickly become a top favorite thriller mystery writer for me. Oh, and I don't think I said, but I did end up giving it 4.5. I think I could have given it 5, but I feel like I liked her other novel a little bit more, so that's why I settled on 4.5. But my parents are literally going to be here in about 15 minutes. Very excited to see them, so I am going to go ahead and end the vlog here. I hope you've enjoyed, and I promise I will do a lot more vlogs in the house showing you around, but I am just someone who is like very overwhelmed by mess, and it has been very overwhelming for me to have like all the stuff everywhere. So as much as I wanted to film a lot more of the putting away process, it was just a bit much. But yeah, I'll be sharing a lot more of the house from here on out. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. It does help my channel out very much, and we are getting quite close to 1,000 subscribers. So very exciting. I'm sure I'll do a giveaway once we get there. But thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!